And how is life? How has afternoon been? Okay. I didn't catch it. Fantastic. Okay, that's nice to hear. The back rows, anything you would like to share? Okay, that's enough. So, thanks for coming here. We'll be hearing our last presentation on this stage for today by our one and only Almudena Rodriguez Pardo. Almudena, before I let you take the floor and discuss a little bit about your topic with the audience, would you mind sharing with us something personal, something that would help us know you better? For example, how many languages do you speak professionally and work in those languages, deliver the workshops and lead teams?
We have a resonance.
Yes, we do.
I hardly understand your question. No, again, please.
Okay. How many languages do you speak professionally?
4. Spanish is my mother language. German, I married a German, it helps. English, I went to high school in the United States, and French, that was my big challenge the last couple of years.
Awesome. And did I understand properly that you are also almost a professional musician in
percussion?
Percussions. Would you mind sharing with the audience a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm crazy about classical percussion. I've got at home actually timpani, vibraphone, xylophone, and I was playing a lot once upon a time when I was young, before I came up with the idea of creating a company. So I'm not active anymore.
So you can go back to the career of a musician along with this career?
20 years.
Good. I leave you the floor. Please welcome Almudena. She's open to take your questions. I think we'll do it simpler, the way we did it with Chris. So when you are done, we'll just have a microphone and then have a few of you ask your questions directly to Almudena. Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh. I love challenges. It is the last talk of 2 days' talks. It's after lunch. You're tired. I have to keep you awake. Wow. Let's go for it. Yeah. How is my name created? Rodriguez is the name of my father, Pardo, the name of my mother. We Spaniards never take the name of a husband. So we stick like this forever and ever. It's very practical. And I was born in Spain. I'm Basque. I was born in Basque Country, and then I ended up doing high school in the United States, then I went to college in Germany. I got stuck. I didn't come out anymore. And I was working 22 years in the telco industry. I come from the software developer, so if you're speaking on the phone, my software might be there. And I was working for this tiny little company called Ericsson, 150,000 employees in 180 countries. Wow. And here, 2011, we began introducing agility. I was talking to Diana, she knows the guy who directed the whole transformation, and I was one of the guinea pigs. I was in some of these Scrum teams, and I learned a lot. Out of this learning, 7 years ago, after 22 years in the telecommunications, I created with some colleagues our own consultancy company. And I was speaking a lot of conferences in the 4 languages, and this is very good to find out what is going on in the world of agility. What's happening? Where are we heading for? Do we have post-agilismus? No, we don't. And yeah, I've looked into all the certifications because I also have to advise my customers when they ask, Almudena, what's the next thing I should do with my career development? Well, some of the certifications are good, the other ones are not. So I have to know them. Enough about me, and let's get into an interesting subject. Can you hear me properly? Because I hear me twice, which could be my age, but you hear me properly perfectly. Main thing you hear me, I don't have to hear myself. This happened 2011, where Mark Anderson said, software is eating the world. Okay, now it's innovation is eating the world in all sectors. In the future, every company will become an innovative company. Otherwise, you don't have a chance in the market. But when we speak about innovation, it's really interesting. It's like in football. When you speak about football, you speak about, hey, Mbappé, you know how many millions he got now in Real Madrid? Wow. And Messi, wow, he's got so many, 100,000 millions, I don't know how many of them, all of them, to get to Florida. And Lewandowski, also a couple of millions. Well, Barcelona's not doing that well, but also a couple of millions to get to Barcelona. Nobody speaks about the people playing in the Red Star Belgrade, in Celta de Vigo in Spain, in the FC Nuremberg in Germany, of all these thousands and thousands of football players who make a living on it and keep football going, because it's not only these three guys playing. There are a few thousand back there. For any league, you need some more players. And that's what I want to do today. I want to talk about innovation, but not about innovation in Google, in X-Space, in Apple. We know X-Space just managed to recover the rockets. Amazing. But I don't want to talk about that, because that's in YouTube all over the place. I want to talk of this tiny little innovation in existing organizations, in the ones you are working in. Because others are the ones who come to me, Almudena, we need to introduce innovation in our company. How do we do it? Those are the ones I want to talk about the small ones, which are important. Because you might not know any innovations from the one Ericsson did. They are all tiny and small, but Ericsson had 60,000 patents. And patents are money. So yes, innovation is crucial in any company, and yes, you need it, but how do we do it? When I'm saying innovation, I mean innovation that's improving existing products, or it could be disruption. Could be a new product which makes obsolete another one we have. I will give you a beautiful example of this. I mean both. We need both. Now, let's start. What do we need? And this lady, Rebecca Sandberg, said a few years ago, yes, one of the most critical factors is about having the people being creative and innovative. We speak a lot about innovation, we don't speak about creativity. And that is important, as not something Mrs. Sandberg is saying on her own, it's something which is already reported by the World Economic Forum, and see the development it took over the last years, the creativity thinking. It even improved last year again. Creativity thinking is a very important trait, a very important skill, which everybody is looking for in the market. And yes, it's a basis to have innovative people in the company. Although you might have creative people, but they are not innovative. How can this be? Let's check on that. Now, when I see creative people or innovative employees, please don't get confused. We're not speaking about this guy here, this a bit of a special person who is sitting in a corner like this, and he says, I got it. And he has the one product which is going to change the future of the company. It's not that one. It's not this one either. The one who comes and says, I've got it. I've got the truth. I've got the truth, and we're going to do this product now. If you have them in the company, don't throw them away. But this is not what we are looking for. We're looking for each and every employee, for the tiny little improvements which can have a huge impact. And that is also innovation. I'm going to give you an example from in the south of Spain. This picture was taken in a department, I think it was a city hall in Cadiz, where the people were queuing up by temperatures of 35 degrees. And somebody came up with the idea, let's put the shoes in a line instead of us standing there for hours and hours. This tiny little innovation can mean a lot of health improvement for people who stay maybe by 40 degrees 3 hours, and it won't be very healthy for their legs, by the way. So this tiny little innovation can have a huge impact, even if it looks very stupid. Or how many thousands of years did we have wheels in the history of mankind? How many hundreds of years have we had some sort of bag to carry our things around? 50, 60 years ago, somebody came up to the idea to put some wheels on a bag. This innovation might not win a Nobel Prize, but some sunlight is rich. So these are the sort of things we're looking around, innovations which are in front of your nose in your company, and you just have to pick them up. and maybe put two things together. These are the things, or the people, or the aspect that drives me to the point to say, every person in your company is capable of being innovative. Sounds good. Now, Almudena, what do we have to do? I'm going to give you a solution. I'm going to give you a checklist with 8 points. And if you fulfill them, you will have an innovative company. And if not, come back to me, you will get your money back. Number 1, how is engagement in your company? Gunther was presenting also the results of the state of the global workplace. And Gallup separates in 3 levels. It's comfortable that we only have 3. We have the engaged people who say, I really enjoy my work. I work with fantastic people. I get up and say, yes, go to work. We have the not engaged people who say, I have my salary, and it's okay. And at 5 o'clock, I drop my pen. Those are not great help, but these ones are a problem. The ones who say, I'm so frustrated, I'm not going to do anything. These people might be working against the company. Gunther was also beautifully presenting. Now, obviously, neither nor are going to be very innovative. If we have the hope of having innovative people in your company, it is the engaged ones. But globally, worldwide, the numbers we have is that we only have 23% of engagement. That means, if you're lucky, every 4th employee in your company is a potential innovator. But wait, it gets worse. In Europe, this number drops radically. In Europe, almost 90% of the employees are not engaged. Hopefully, only not engaged. So this is one of the first things we have to solve. What is happening in your company? What does it look like? What is the degree of engagement and motivation you have? I could have another speech now on intrinsic and extrinsic motivation and motivation factors. Do something about this. Secure engagement. Obviously, by these averages, we can be happy if you have a company where half of the people are engaged, but work on this aspect. Are the people motivated at your company? Because otherwise, nobody's going to innovate. That is the first factor we have to solve. Closely related is trust. And to keep you awake after lunch, we're going to have a small exam now. This lady here, is she working? No. Okay, next try. Are they working? Maybe. Let's be nice. But now the worst one comes. Is he working? He might not. You will never know. Don't even try to control this. In times of knowledge workers with digital technology, we will never know. Don't even try to control this. And there are tools, beautiful tools, controlling how long people are sitting in front of the laptop. But then you're going to get people sitting in front of the laptop. So if you don't trust those people, leave and pick up a coffee, really. There is not much point on the rest what I'm going to tell you. So these are the fundamental homework of any manager of any company if you want to have an innovative company. Engagement and trust. There's this one company in Finland, Futurice. And several years ago, some engineers of the company Futurice said, hey, let's buy some remote control cars and try them out with artificial intelligence. And they did it. They bought some remote control cars. Why? Because 600 employees, 600 credit cards. Trust. But all the invoicing of the 600 credit cards are visible in the intranet, also the one from the CEO. Transparency, close to trust. Now, still, the CEO arrives in the morning and sees engineers playing with their cars through the corridors of the company. You need a lot of trust, not to kill them. and think that they are working. They were working because they created, regarding how do you handle trust in Futurize, this is regulated, that is in internet for you accessible. Anybody can look into the 12 slides how Futurize gives trust to employees. You have your credit card, and you have these 5 factors to take into consideration for small things you can buy, medium things you can buy, big things you can buy. You have to secure, they are for the customer, they are for the economical numbers, and they are for the people, for today and for the future. And this is easily explained in these slides with anybody in the world can access. You get your credit card, you read these instructions, and you buy whatever you want. So they bought these remote control cars and play around until they created Maku. Maku is the first artificial intelligence remote control car. They started doing learning and training how to use artificial intelligence in the company by gamification with the car. They created workshops to teach their customers how to use artificial intelligence with gamification. They created a fantastic company branding because they were competing with other artificial intelligence remote car, I think in the University of Finland. And they created the whole thing, everything they did was open source for the community. So this happens when you trust the people, and when you're a CEO who arrives to the company and see the engineers playing with the cars in the corridor, and you say nothing. Then think twice, how much trust do you have on the engaged people? And how many engaged people we have? Number 3, time. As simple as that. Does your people have time? It's a cow criterion. If we don't have time, also, no point in listening any further. You have many companies organizing hackathons. To be honest, I don't like them. I'll explain later why. I had some bad experiences. And we have seen a lot of things being tried out. In Ericsson, we had Friday Try Day. In Friday, you could try things out. In 3M, since 1940, any engineer has 16% of their time to try things out. It's also a good approach. And guess when these posits were created in 3M? Certainly not in a project. And Futurize gives 30 creative hours a month to any employee. And if you put it open source in internet, whatever you have done, they will pay them. Complete different approaches for time. Choose one. There's one more. Safe. Oh my God, this rigid framework everybody's bitching around. Is innovative? Well, SAFe has planned after every 3 or 4 sprints, one innovation sprint. So at least there is a plan there and there's some space and time for it. We can discuss, Almudena, that's not enough. So, sorry, it's better than nothing. And most of the companies I know, they have nothing. So I have given you an inspiration of 4 or 5 possibilities how to apply time for innovation in your company. Choose one or choose all of them, but make sure you have one. Because these 2 guys, Bill and Jan, 2007, they created WhatsApp. At that point in time in the telecommunications, we had the technology in-house. We had it. It's not rocket science. But we didn't have time because we were so busy working on the projects for the SMS. How many SMS did you send today? I got one from Air Serbia that I am flying tomorrow. And another 30 or 40 WhatsApps from everybody else. We didn't have time in the telecommunications, and they took us a business away from millions and millions. 7 years later, 2014, these 2 boys sold WhatsApp to Facebook for $20 billion. What did they have? What we all don't have? Time. They were unemployed. They had nothing better to do than sit around, open a beer, and create WhatsApp. Number 4, space. These are all the fantastic companies which have been created in a garage, and many more. So we started in several companies creating garage. This is the garage in Ericsson, Germany. It was even half a car hanging on the wall, where you have a creative room, a room where we could all get together to create ideas. We even brought customers inside for creative workshops. Now things have changed. Of course, the picture is before COVID. Now we also have digital rooms. And we have to rethink. We have to strongly rethink not only when, where do the people can try things out. You might need new technology or not. You might just only need, or maybe you need some Raspberry Pis. But do we have some place and some technology where people can go and say, we'll sit here together for a couple of hours and try things out? We solved it in Ericsson, Germany, with the garage. I've seen other things in other companies, and many people meet digitally. Whatever works out for you, it's fine, but secure the space is created. Number 5, teaming up. Teams have not been introduced with a Scrum. They were already before. Mary Poppending in Lean Software Development speaks about the software teams he was conducting. A team is just a group of people together who have a collective intelligence. I might have a fantastic idea. I'm sure all of you has a fantastic idea. As a whole, together we have the best idea. So teaming up for innovation clearly brings the best ideas. And there is somebody who really knew that, and that is Edison. Thomas Edison did not invent the light bulb. He made sure it was commercialized. His invention was a team. He did not work alone. He brought some of the best people at that time, 15 other inventors, put them together in these rooms he had, in this laboratory he had, which was called Menlo Park. So his greatest invention was actually Menlo Park. He knew how to put things together, and he knew how to put creative people together. So secure people can team up to have the best ideas. Anybody remembers these Fuji films? And then you waited for 1 week to see the pictures. There might be some young people here, they don't know what I'm speaking about. I think Fuji does not live anymore on those. There are some, my husband still makes some pictures with them. He's nostalgic. What is Fuji making a living on? Anybody knows? What? Covers.
Digital cameras. Polaroid for sure.
Creams. Beauty creams for ladies. Why? What does it bring such a radical, extreme pivoting? Because the structure of the film, of the camera film, is pretty similar of the structure of the skin, and many of the chemistry and many of the processes and the materials they were using for the films could be reused. Some of the knowledge could be reused to create creams. These are pretty much, it's a line of selling this Astalif is very well known in Asia. I mean, don't ask me about the details because I was not personally involved. I only read one set. But the way I understood it and the way it's been sold, I very much assume the chemistry applies and it is legal regulated. I'm not going into the details. It's just an amazing pivoting which only a team can see. So make sure you put the collective intelligence together when you're trying to create innovation. Don't send everybody home to be innovative by themselves. Dual operating system. Kota said it already a long time ago. We need different tracks. We need a track for our traditional products. We need a fast track for our innovative approaches. And I was telling you I don't like hackathons because we had one experience when I was still an employee in Ericsson. We had hackathons and we had an amazing discovery. I wouldn't call it a discovery, but they're putting things together again. And some of our guys created a suitcase with an alarm on it. By now it is already in the market, but at that point in time, speaking 10 years ago, it was an innovation. And they created this suitcase with this alarm system, and the suitcase will start miming and making noise if somebody tried to steal it. And we were really proud. We were really proud. And we had the prototype. And we're proud. And we had the prototype. And we're proud. And it got through the corridors of the company and through the processes. 2 months later, another company brought it to the market. Because we tried to get this track for everything. You need a fast track. Some companies do spin-offs. Some companies create another company on purpose to secure they get them out of the standardized processes. It's also a solution, whether you do a legal solution or just another process, but create fast track for innovation. And this is what Quota growth, even 2012, you have the structure of your company, which we might need for stability, for the running projects, products. Something is you're selling the market now and is paying the salaries. But for future approaches, you might create some networks. You might create some networks of these teams, which have a different process and can work quicker, and can do something which doesn't have to follow all the legal regulations. Whatever you do, if you have these innovative people with time and space, try things out before going for this one product where you have this product arrogance. How many people fall in love with their product? I was in a small startup with 5 people. We failed. We completely failed because the owner of the startup was in love with the product. He wouldn't listen to any advice. He just wanted to put it in the market with a big bang and not try things out. It will disclose too much information. So these slides, 600 slides, like this one for children, were put in a town without trying them out first and see what happened. $600. Maybe we should have done one and try it out and put some kids on top and see if they like it. So please, don't have any product arrogance. Don't treat your product. I had another company who told me, Almudena, because I said, come, try this out. Put a small version with produce 200 pieces and put it in the market. Almudena, regulations of the company, they don't allow us to put anything in the market which does not produce money. Okay, do 2,000 pieces and pray that we are right. So try it out with this MVP, MMF, MLP, whatever you want to call it. Try it out. Involve any sector. You are a company, there are more companies. Create an ecosystem. I'll translate this newspaper article. Ericsson Germany, that's Ericsson Germany, invited startups to join and to co-create for 5G. Instead of doing everything on our own, said, no, let's team up with other ecosystems. And invited startups in the regions. And once a year, there is this Ericsson Innovation Day with 600 customers, invitation only, and they line up to come, where they come for the complete day there, and they are showcasing of everything we were trying out, of all the experiments we were doing, of the prototypes and products ideas we had, were showcasing. The customer could work around and speak about co-creation. Instead of one company putting the product in the market, completely innovative, running alone all the risks, because innovation has risks, by the way, you invite other companies to co-create and share the risks. So we had this approach of co-creation, and it was a fantastic, it's still fantastic success. Put together. What do we need if we want to have an innovative company? Secure your people are engaged. It looks like 100% engagement is in Europe very hard. How far can we get? Trust them. And if you don't trust them, don't hire them. Trust your people. You have hired them. Give them time, whichever approach you like. I like the one from SAFE because it's a good starting point. At least for a sprint, every once in a while, we can all together innovate. If you don't like it, take another one. Create a space for innovation. Make it a bit comfortable and nice. It shouldn't be some room in the cellar. Make a nice place for innovation, or maybe digital room, perfectly fair. Team up, give the opportunity to create teams. Secure the dual operation system, the fast track. Once there is an innovation in the air, make sure it can go to the market quicker than the competition, because that was our biggest problem. Big companies, small companies, they are quicker. Try things out with MVPs, MMF, whatever you want to call it. Try things out. Don't fall in love with your fantastic innovative product because maybe nobody else falls in love with it. And involve any sector, clients, competitors, startups. Create co-creations environments because then you can share the risks. Whatever you do, do something. I really like this German sentence, which I'm going to translate right away, because just sitting around and hoping that your company will be innovative, it's like waiting for a ship at the train station. Things will not happen by themselves. And you have probably, in your companies, so far, have done an amazing job. I am convinced so far you have been doing great things. But the velocity of change is huge. Even if your products are fantastic, what brought you here will not take you there. You need to be innovative. So start looking into these checklists. You can get it free of charge and pick up the ones which are missing and let's get to work. Muchísimas gracias por su atención. Esta ha sido mi charla. I hope I could inspire you, and I will take any questions in whatever way you want, and I kept it short on purpose because I get you're already tired. I don't know if a microphone is coming, but you can all scream. Any questions you can scream, I can repeat?
Maybe I can, I don't know if everybody's hear me. So, is the order of these, how to say, improvements important?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good that you say that. Yes. Please.
I'm going to pass the mic so everybody can hear
Yes, the question if the order is important.
It's over
yes.
here?
Is my opinion, for God's sake. I haven't done a scientific investigation. This is based on the experience in our company we have had over the last years and what have been observing. That is our list. If you have another opinion, we can talk about it. I'll be having a coaching session later at 4 o'clock upstairs, so any detailed questions, I will be happy to take them. But based on our experience, yes, there are cow criteriums. If you don't trust your people, there is no point on giving them time and space. Because we had it, I had a customer in Sevilla where they thought they had to be modern and have the young people happy, so they put a football kicker. What do you call it in English? A football... Yeah, football kicker. And they had a football kicker for the young engineers to play, you know, and they feel, it looks like a modern company, you have a football kicker. But the human resources responsible was staying in a corner, looking there. I said, come on, you have been already 10 minutes playing. At some point, the football kicker was not used anymore. Why do you put a football kicker if you don't trust the people? So saying, don't give them any time and space if you don't trust them. And even if you trust them, if they're not engaged and motivated, I'm not sure how far we're going to get. So my opinion is that is the right order, but like I say, it's our humble opinion from our company. You might have a different one.
Any other questions? Please? Come on, the back rows. Okay. Sorry, I'm okay. That was very funny. I hope you have it on YouTube very soon. TikTok, sorry, YouTube is for my age. TikTok is for the kids of today.
Any of the Instagram is okay also.
Hello. So the question is about the engagement. So people are used to do their regular daily work, so they have their areas of knowledge. So what would you describe being really engaged when speaking about innovation projects? So why did people say they are not feeling engaged? That's the question, actually.
I was 22 years employed, and I will say you can see it on the people's faces. That could be now my quick answer. You notice the people who are really responsible for the work, yeah, but you notice the people who walk the extra mile, who say, it's not just about doing overtime. They say, well, this is needed, I'm going to put my effort on it. This is what the company needs, I'm just going to do it. And this is walking the extra mile, I will define it, poetry. And my experience is also when I walk into companies, we do a lot of consultancy and work into companies, I very quickly notice if a person is engaged. I have not given you a very good answer, but I don't have a checklist here. As I say, if you look at the people's smiles, you know if they're happy there. And of course, you'll have this other, which are working against the company. Those are the ones who are in the coffee corner, bitching around the company all the time, but they never go. I had a colleague like that. He was every day bitching about the company in the coffee corner, every single day. 20 years later, this year, he took the retirement. So you very quickly notice who belongs where. I'm very thankful that Gallup only created 3 levels and not more.
It's coming.
Go deeper into your bad experience with the hackathon?
Yeah, because it happens...
Almudena, if you could repeat the question.
Yeah, my bad experiences with the hackathon. This one with the suitcase was traumatical for us, no? Because we're really proud of this suitcase. And we saw it couldn't move through the process of the company. And that's where I realized hackathon is not enough. You have to prepare the way for the invention to move on. And that's where big companies fail, the big multinationals. And many of you might be working in banking, might be working in telecommunications. They have a slower processes. You have also legal regulations. You need this fast track, to call it somehow. And I've seen also in other companies where you have these hackathons and everybody was on fire and everyone was highly motivated and spend the night eating pizza and sleep in the sleeping bag. I'm out of that age, but they're at younger college. And then after 2 days and a small showcase where we saw fantastic inventions, not much happened. Everybody went back to work. So I haven't seen that hackathons have a big impact in the innovation culture of the company. That is my personal problem with hackathons. If you have a better one, please, happy to hear more beautiful experiences.
But this explanation from you, I would more relate to the missing fast track.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a hackathon problem.
It's not a hackathon problem, but it might happen. In this case, was missing the fast track, yes. But it might happen in many companies that some things are there, created in the hackathon, and then they are not sure what to do with them because it's not the business models we have. They don't belong to the actual business models. And some companies, traditional companies, might have problems changing the business models. So that is why in hackathons, if you create things which might be too new for the company, it might also be frustrating.
We have a question here. Sorry.
I have one here, but I'll pick them up.
Just a follow-up.
Yeah.
I would like something like Friday, what is the name of it? Work better than the current.
Why Triad Friday will work better? In 2010, 2 investigators from the University of Manchester got the Nobel Prize for Physics. They isolated the graphene. And the graphene, it was known that the element exists, but nobody had isolated it yet, and they managed. So they got the prize, the money, a lot of pictures, and then they were asked about how did they do it. And it was Friday. They worked Monday to Friday on their regular work, which the projects they were doing for University of Manchester, which they were supposed to investigate. And Friday at 4 o'clock, when the official time of working was over, they open a beer and say, let's try something out. And in this spare time, which I think it was not even Friday, it was their own time, is where they discover the graphene. Or I have another company in Barcelona, a gaming company, only in gaming. They have games all over the world, and they say to the engineers, on Friday, this Friday you can try whatever you want, live, in the Asian markets for this one game. It's probably not the most important game in the company and not the most important market, so if they break something, it won't be disaster, but they get some live market to play around on Friday. In Spain, you stop working at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And the manager I was talking to is at Almudena. At 7 o'clock in the evening, they are still there, trying things out. I've put an avatar, look what he's doing. So that is the experience I have, that in many companies, Friday might be a bit shorter. Some companies say Friday there's no meeting, and gives an opportunity. If you say, try the Monday, works better for you, take it. So where can we put in a slot where more or less everybody could be innovative together?
Here?
Please.
I saw here that you don't have, as one of the points, incentives for those who make or propose an innovation. In your experience, does it contribute to company being more innovative if you offer incentives, be it monetary or any else, to the employees or not? Thanks.
We are open a Pandora box, the reward box. If you offer incentive for the best finding, you will have a clear focus, the incentive. Then the brain starts working differently. I start thinking not what will be the best invention, what will be the best way to win the money. And we start having people associating, say, hey, this 2,000 euros, if you and me try something together, we could make them. Let's isolate from the rest, make our own team. So all the perversions you can have where you put money on something, we know from the bonus systems, could happen. We might have some sort of motivation, recognition, reward, which is not necessarily monetary. You might have 1 day off, 1 day vacation extra. You might have cinema tickets for everybody. So, or sometimes it's just the satisfaction of seeing your product being developed. If I will be an innovator and see my product is going to be developed in the company, at that point, then the patent plays a game, and of course you're part of the patent, and then you have your money. So it gets as far as a patent, yes, you have your economic recognition. I won't give you a clear answer, but wherever you put money on somewhere, the perversions of mankind start playing a game. I was quality coordinator. I was running KPIs. I learned something. You want a number? We'll get it. You want an invasion to get that money? We'll make it. But then you're not just doing it for invasion, you're doing it for the money. So, careful. I didn't go today into intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. That's for my next presentation.
Any other questions? But make sure that they're from the behind so I can fall again. But on this side, to make it, symmetrical.